Hello. It's been a busy few days and I've been rushing to get things done, and in the evenings when I've been trying to do a summary at the end of the day, it's got too dark, so I haven't done that. Yesterday we had neighbours next door, not only her own child but friend's toddler, and so when there's other people's children or toddlers about, I don't like to record things because people see a camera and think, why is he recording, what's he filming? So I didn't do anything yesterday, but I've got the tomatoes in. Cooking tomatoes are all in this bed, and brought the beans in. Now they should be safe from mice, but they are getting a bit big, so I need to get them in, but I need to get their bed sorted first, so it'll be a couple of days at least before they go in. Other things, yeah, mostly in. We've had a few things that have been eaten by slugs. We've had a really bad year with slugs. I picked a load of strawberries this morning and ate them, because if you leave something and you think, oh, it'll be perfect in a few days, and you come back 2 days later and the slugs have had it. So you know, that was almost perfectly ripe and the slugs got to it and it's gone horrible. Things like this, normally I wouldn't pick them, but it's the only way to actually get a crop is to pick these sort of semi-ripe, not quite ripe, because if you wait for the perfect moment you get nothing. Like this one, there's every weed imaginable but my pak choi is the only thing that's been eaten. But you can see there's hundreds of weed seeds that have germinated. Even bindweeds managed to get in there somehow, but anyway. I think the safest thing with that is, rather than try and weed it, just cover it with plastic. Make sure everything dies down, because the pak choi has had it. By the time it recovers, it will go to seed anyway, so I may as well just dispose of it. And the sweet corn cage is now ready. I've had to build it out of odds and ends, but that's fine. There's all sorts of metal bits and pieces in there. These bits are good and steady, but I've deliberately made it wobbly. I mean, the bottom has got hooks that go into the ground. They've got stones or bricks or something, so it's difficult to get these in further than a few centimetres. So they're in as far as they'll go. Well, that should stop badgers anyway, and rats. It's too hot to do any transplanting, so I've watered things. I'll pull a few weeds, and then when it's a bit cooler in the evening I will transplant. I was given some weed fabric by someone who didn't want it. It's an 8 metre by 1.5 metre width, and it's the thin woven fabric, so it's not terribly strong, but it'll do to keep the weeds down, because I really don't want to be going around into the sweet corn cage every other day pulling bindweed off the sweet corn, because that stuff's incredible. It's unbelievable. So I'm going to put this down and cut holes every 30 centimetres so I can put the sweet corn into the holes. And if you're wondering why we have such a high weed pressure on these allotments, look at this one that's been abandoned, and it's all weeds, wall to wall weeds. You can see how tall they are by the height of the bean poles on that allotment next to it. Well, that bramble is well over 6 foot and these are all nearly 2 meters tall. They're up to my chest. I mean, I can't wade into this. You can just about make out a couple of apple trees, and I can't get any further in because the weeds start to get me. That's why we need weed fabric, because all those seeds, and there'll be thousands of them, will float onto our allotment, and putting those out is no joke. Even if you keep on top of it and keep doing it, it's an ongoing task. It's not a Charles Dowding dream world where you pull a couple of weeds out and they never come back. It's just relentless here. It's just relentless. Right, the weed fabric is on, and it is this sort of thin You can probably see my fingers through there, so on its own it won't stop the weeds, but I will be mulching, and it should be alright with that. Right, I've put in the holes in the template, and I've added a drip line, so that's all ready to go. So when I need to, I can just connect to this and water the whole bed. I didn't get the planting finished yesterday, so as you can see behind me, today's a little bit cooler, more overcast, and I can finish the sweet corn. I got about half of it done, so I'll get the rest done. Then we can mark this job as done and move on to the next. Look at this aubergine. It's perfectly fine, and these other ones are absolutely covered in insects. Absolutely covered in them. The further we go, look at the state of these leaves. Absolutely horrendous. And there's a ladybird on there having a go at them, but I think it's got its work cut out trying to eat through this lot, because they're absolutely all over the place. So that's that side of the greenhouse. This side, not a single fly on them. No white flies, no green flies, nothing. This side, absolutely covered in this stuff. I think the best thing to do is to take them out one by one and give them a really good wash. It won't kill them all, but it'll reduce their numbers. This side, what I did put in the marigolds, they've done really well. This side, I ran out of marigold plants because the slugs ate some and it didn't germinate as well as I hoped. So I didn't have enough to go around, so I put a couple at this end and left that end on without marigolds, and it's clear as day. I mean, look at this, nothing. And then look at this one next to it. And that's the amazing power of marigolds. So from now on, I'll definitely be planting marigolds in the greenhouse, and lots of them. Right, the sweet corn cage is planted and the drip line is working. I put it on high pressure just to show you, but normally I wouldn't run it at this higher pressure. Just testing to make sure everything is working fine. Right, so that's one job ticked off. Well, I'm not going home empty-handed. Got some beetroot leaves for salads, some chard leaves for an omelette tomorrow, radishes, then I've got some nasturtiums and some lettuce again for a salad. A couple of jobs done and out of the way, and a little haul to take home with me.